Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for August 7 to 13 of 2022, going up super early on Thursday, August 4th, because I want to give you a couple of days notice that Shanta and I are getting together for the Lions Gate. August 7th is a Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific. It is going to be a Zoom so the community can be together. Donations are optional, but we're asking for $22 if you feel called. And this is an unbelievably powerful portal to get together. When two or more gather, the light is increased, the power is increased, and the success is increased. So let's be together on Sunday the 7th. Hopefully this is enough time. And if you can't be with us physically, absolutely let me know if you'd like the replay. I will go over the energetic support, which is, like I said, just unbelievably once in a lifetime. And Shanta will channel some amazing message from the archangels and take us through a meditation that helps us embody this wisdom. Very powerful combo for us to be together. We're very earth and sky, me and Shanta. But the Gate of Power is a very good time to co-create. We're very close to the Leo new moon and the Aquarius full moon, so we're resetting our connection to the heart anyway, clearing out anything blocking us from progressing to our own next level and making our unique contribution. This is a powerful time to consciously co-create with the energies all around you, above, below, and at the heart. So join us Sunday if you can. You can go to my website, KarmicTools.com. Under offerings and under live and virtual circles with Kelly, you'll see the free community event. That's where you can register for the Leo Gate of Power. The next free community event that I'm going to host will be August 24th. So that same page will get updated with the August 24th event after we're done with the August 7th. Now, the other reason I wanted to post early is because as of today, August 4th, Mercury moves into Virgo, where it's going to awaken certain things, go into Libra, and backtrack. I have created a powerful, beautiful, and amazing new offering that I'm very, very proud of. After the last Mercury retrograde class, I've been doing it this year in 3-part classes where we had to get together 3 weeks in a row. And we would cover the pre-shadow, the actual retrograde, and the post-shadow. So now I've created a self-study course with 3 parts and all the extra tools and goodies, including your personal Mercury retrograde activations. That's what Mercury retrograde through Virgo and Libra is going to do to your chart. So if you have strong Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sag, or Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn, then this retrograde is very personal and it's going to hit a lot of your planets. So it would be best to consciously co-create. Now you can listen to the divinations or the meditations or the activations. I did a really special thing with the activations up in the sky that Mercury is going to do that affect all of us. And right now, that is part of the self-study course. Perhaps around October, I may release it to the public, because then I will be inviting you all to a Mercury retrograde class October 4th. So the class tools and everything is open and available as of today, August 4th. Instead of 3 classes per se, we're going to do 1 live event on October 4th to connect for questions and sharing and all that good stuff. And that'll be right when Mercury comes out and is going forward in Libra. It doesn't hit Scorpio till October 29th, right around ancestor time. So this is also preparation for that. Imagine Virgo as the purification, Libra as the rebalancing going on within you so that you can connect to your Scorpio power. Think Mercury, your ideas, thoughts, and concepts. We want to recalibrate them so that they function well, so that they create balance instead of imbalance, and so that when we have that anchored within us, channeling Scorpio power is much cleaner and easier and more productive, right? So this is exciting, y'all. This is my first digital download of hopefully more to come. If this is successful and you all enjoy the format, you know my thing. I'm not very good at social media, and I'm not very good at it because I don't believe in the concept. I don't like a third party to talk to you. So I will have a private community that if you are also in any of my classes, you can be in my private community which, yes, you have to create a login, and it's one more login. We all have a list somewhere of all our passwords and things. But this is the other reason I'm posting early, is because I'm downsizing kellymbeard.com and karmictools.com into the teaching platform. So everything is going to change, even though it'll still probably be karmictools.com. You'll go there and you'll be in my classroom. And this way, when you need your Kelly, you can always go. You can get the energetic support with the weekly forecast, or you can come and check in with readings or other classes, or now, hopefully, more self-study courses and digital downloads, where we will get together live, because I really believe in that too, that we need to connect and have an exchange for the wisdom to become embodied. If you're just downloading information and gathering, researching, but not applying it, not using it, and not talking to other people who are, then it doesn't become embodied wisdom. So again, this one is going to be a really powerful one to co-create with. Now that I've done all the work, I've walked all the way through it for myself, and I'm actually right on time with the downsizing, simplifying. Virgo is like, wait a minute, we're leaking energy over here. Let's get more efficient. Then I can connect to my Libra community, my people, much easier. And when I come out, I'll be in my Scorpio power to shine my creativity any way I'd like, So I'm walking it. I'm living it. An example, anyway, of how this Mercury retrograde is going to go. So join me, y'all. I'm so excited, and I would love your feedback, and let me know how this delivery system works when you're working this kind of mojo. I thought it might actually work better for self-study course, because Mercury retrograde tends to mess with our timing, and it messes with our schedules, right? So if you find yourself with this open pocket of time and energy, and you really want to ask some questions or read the divinations or do the meditations, which, by the way, there's a bunch of extra rituals and special meditations that are geared toward restoring your mental health and mental well-being, right? So there's the Clear the Perceptions meditation. There's so many extra goodies, right, on top of the activations, meditations, and divinations. All right, y'all. That was my other heads up that needed to go early. Now we can jump into the forecast, which all kicks off Sunday. And we do have a very powerful personal week, ending with Venus moving into Leo, but the full moon in Aquarius. Very powerful. 8/11 is a big day too. So if you plan to join us, I will talk about the sacred season, which is the gate of power, the Leo gate of power, the Lion's gate. This is the time of year for assessments, and it's sometimes called the pre-harvest. This is a time when we give gratitude for any abundance in our lives, saying thank you, make offerings to ensure the flow of life. We release regrets and facilitate closure. Like I said, it is the pre-harvest, which is when we do major assessments and preparations. We create containers for your creative ideas, activate that fiery creativity, and we either start new projects or we renew the vitality in old projects and rebirth them to be expressed a different way. We deepen our dedication to what is working and alive, and we assess the worth of preserving and cultivating new life. So like I said, this period is all about assessments and preserving what's growing strong, solid, useful, and nourishing. So when I say this time, I mean August, September. So it's all about what's growing strong while releasing density, weight, and excess to be composted into something more useful in the season to come. It's a time of gratitude and celebration in anticipation of the fall equinox season of harvest. That's why some call this the pre-harvest, so you can get a jump start on assessing the year if you've completed your clearing and releasing process. If not, this is the final purge in preparation for the harvest season. So we'll be able to use this week's full moon for some of that. The Leo-Virgo combination perfectly represents this cross-quarter gate of power and the portal to take you to your heart, which is Leo, and through a purification and healing, which is Virgo. It's time to position yourself for an expanded perspective at this time. Explore your options with fresh eyes. Allow your instincts to guide you on your path and trust the divine feminine within and around you to contain, nurture, and protect all life now and always. You are reminded to honor that which sustains you and to always aim your magical arrow at only the most precious dreams, your deepest heart's desired. Deep breath. So, happy turn of the wheel. This is a powerful time in our seasonal shifts, which reminds me another thing that will get launched again. This is probably the second or third time I'll be launching the Soul Sisters Circle when I get that teaching platform all set up. Again, it's a place for community and a place for us to do our rituals and ceremonies, which is what we do at the Cross Quarters. So I hope you will join Shanta and I. So starting August 7th, which is Sunday, Venus is going to trine Neptune. This is a very supportive energy for dreaming your world into being. Allow your imagination some latitude to wander and see where it leads. Play with what-if scenarios. For example, what if all your material needs and desires were taken care of? What would you dedicate your time, energy, and resources to? You may be very empathic and connected to others and what they are going through at this time, so maintain adequate boundaries. Neptune can activate a very spiritual encounter with another human being, friend, family, or lover, but only time will tell if it is Neptune playing tricks on you or if it is truly a spiritual connection. Deep breath. This is ease and grace between Venus and Neptune. Very powerful for the artist, for creative flow. I'm so grateful for this energy this week because, like I said, I'm redreaming the website. And you all will be very happy to know that it will finally work on phones because that's part of Karmic Tools' problem is that I'm a dinosaur. It's really old. WordPress, basic website, and I need to catch up with you phone people. I'm working on it. Same day that we're having this awakening of creativity, Mars squares off with Saturn. So this is a tricky one. This is a mixed blessing. Again, I'm going to use it because it does give you the energy to get things done. But if you got to fight with authorities or deal with outside people, it might be a little challenging. This is the energy of action being restricted and the anger or frustration that follows. You can either be angry and feel restricted, limited, and unable to move, or you can see this energy as an opportunity to define the right actions to take and strategically plan to take them when the universe is more supportive. This energy requires us to slow down and double-check the plan. If you proceed consciously, your plan has a better chance of success than if you were reckless and impatient. You may experience a blockage of some sort, internal or external. You may feel this tremendous urge to change or move forward in your life, but seem to find blockages and limitations with every effort. That is likely your perception. Do you feel inadequate to the task at hand? What are you afraid of? Fear is false evidence appearing real. So release the fear and choose to be responsible for creating your own life. This is Saturn. You are the inner authority of your own life, right? The author of your own story. If you don't, your outer circumstance only becomes a reflection of your inner belief. You will attract criticism and repel support, and we never want to do that. Take your grand vision, figure out 3 small steps you can take on this restricted level that is still taking you in the direction of your goal. Don't try to initiate it this time. This is a time for cultivating, planning, working behind the scenes, doing the detail and foundational work, otherwise known as the grunt work, that is necessary to support the grand vision when the time comes to fully express it. Deep breath. Like I said, I think this is totally supporting my reset on how I present myself to the world and how I interact with you all in a new and more productive way. That's Sunday. Now we jump to Tuesday the 9th when Venus will oppose Pluto. So this is powerful. Mars and Saturn is helping us make some decisions about who we are and what we want and what we're willing to be responsible for. And probably the square means we have to change something in order to do that. So now Venus comes in and creates this position where we have to integrate with Pluto. This is Cancer Capricorn. This is fundamentals, home and work, your private and public spaces, how you function and take care of yourself and replenish so that you're capable of contributing to the whole, right? So this is a classic opposition. Anything with Venus is usually softened, while anything with Pluto is always intensified. And the opposition automatically brings up the push-pull between these two. You are encouraged to tune into your own heart, and then you can trust what is rising from the depths of your own soul. Also, any opposition gives you a look back at your starting point, which can reveal something that you may not be giving yourself credit for. Either way, this energy intensifies experiences where your relationships and resources are concerned. So time out. Let's look at when that initiation happened real quick. That would have been when Venus was in Capricorn, which this year is where she retrograded. So it was bigger than a basic initiation, y'all, which means we are to the point now where we can really look at where we have let go of old roles and responsibilities and opened ourselves up to new ones. Yep, I was right. That was one of our Venus activations we initiated so clean and new, y'all. So I need you to meditate. This is a total sidebar, I'm sorry. On November to March, okay, November of 21 all the way to March, to April 1st of 2022. This was a huge initiation in the Venus cycle. Part of it was the 18-month cycle of renewing our values and priorities and happening in the Capricorn department of our lives. But the bigger one is that it goes back to Capricorn every 8 years. So the last time we went through a Venus retrograde in Capricorn was 2013. So part of the way I get people to remember this time zone is that 2012 was a lot of Gemini energy that was cracking us open in consciousness. Gemini, Sag eclipses, all of that. But by 13, the eclipses had shifted to Taurus, Scorpio, like what we're experiencing now, and Venus retrograded in Capricorn. So we had to choose something to commit to, or containers to cultivate, or foundations to build, or whatever we were going to do. So think about that, because we're basically 6 months on the other side of that. And this activation calls us back to that zone where right now Venus is in the Cancer side opposing Pluto, whereas she was there together with Pluto 6 months ago. So now we can really do a deeper check-in. So I appreciate your patience when I go off-roading like that. So if you have to be focused on love to the exclusion of money, then your finances will probably come up at this time for a rebalancing of sorts. If you've been focused on money to the exclusion of family or supportive relationships, then that may be your focus. The bottom line is your true values are up for a purification of sorts. What and who is really, truly important to you? How do you spend your resources of time, energy, and money? What and who are your real priorities right now? Now, I don't know about y'all, but mine are vastly different from the beginning of this year. Often we operate completely unconsciously because of Pluto, being driven by deeper forces than we fully understand. And periodically, we must allow them to come up and out so that we can distill or release them so they become compost rather than toxic. Deep breath. Since you may feel, quote unquote, compulsive in some way, that's what Pluto does to us. It's very intense. You may as well use that energy to make a deeper commitment to getting to the root or source of any imbalance, rather than let it take you away to feed some hungry ghost, which is an unidentifiable famine or hunger in your life. Often this activation tends to make you uncontrollably drawn to someone that you know is not good for you, which can only result in more problems. It often provokes manipulation, jealousy, guilt, and other negative emotions that always come when you are trying to maintain something that wasn't meant to be in the first place. Again, don't try to force your will. That can only lead to a broken heart in the end. If you are already in an intense relationship, beware of subconscious impulses, hidden resentments, unexpressed anger and/or frustration. Expressing it at this time can be helpful if you present your concerns in a constructive way. However, you will have to be personally strong and vigilant in monitoring your own emotions in order to do that, right? Ultimately, if change needs to happen in your relationship, this energy will be the catalyst. This energy is only quote-unquote bad if you are unwilling to get to the real root or source of the given conflict. Otherwise, it is like a storm that cleanses and clears the air, making everything grow better. Deep breath. Venus opposite Pluto. So we are utter transformation of our relationships and finances, integrating things that we initiated 6 months ago, making sure what's alive and what's dead on the vine, what we need to invest further in, what we need to let go of. Ooh, honey, I'm right on time over here. Then we jump to Thursday, the 11th. This is our big day, where Sun squares Uranus, which is another intense square to navigate. So we got Mars, which is who you are and what you want, squaring off with Saturn, getting real, practical, what can we actually do? While the Sun, which is also tied to your purpose and identity and different things like that Mars is related with, squaring off with Uranus means we probably need to break out of a certain kind of rut so that we can get to our own next level, right? And so this square will help zap that energy. So you don't even need it anymore. Just let it go. It's deep, I know. We're starting with that one. Sun square Uranus, August 11th. As with any Uranus activation, this one disrupts the normal flow in order to facilitate a break to realign moment. While sometimes disruptive and challenging, the ultimate result is refreshing in some way. Consider the energy that thickens, gathering for a severe thunderstorm, then releasing buckets of rain for hours. You sleep deeply and awaken to a bright sunny morning with birds chirping unusually loud outside your window. Got the visual? This activation is the necessary challenge that gets your attention that something better is available. If you are willing to change something, improvise, and think on your feet. If you've been unusually restricted in some way, you may feel restless. Rather than being reactive to the unexpected shift, whether it comes from within or without, it's best to take a pause for the cause, step back, and try to gain some perspective. Remember to be present. Too far in the past can be depressing, and too far in the future, and you cause yourself unnecessary anxiety. Breathe, be under the sky, invite clarity about the next step, and trust your gut. This energy, while sometimes uncomfortable and often sudden, is very necessary to disrupt any illusions or delusions that you may be holding on to. It's time to express yourself in new ways so the old ways naturally stop working in order to get your attention. So that's a big one. Again, there's this huge awakening process going on with Uranus, North Node, and Mars all in Taurus, waking up our values and our creature comforts and our personal securities, the things that really matter on the ground. So the same day, August 11th, Mars is going to sextile Neptune. So see how Venus trined Neptune, activating our inner artist this week? Now Mars might give us the energy to actually crank out those creations, right? This energy puts action behind your dreams. It is the perfect time to reflect on what you really want and if the path you've chosen thus far still serves your ultimate goals. Your intuition is heightened and you're more alert and ready to act on the information you receive. This information is trying to point you toward a more enlightened plan than you have right now for manifesting your truth and purpose. It's also a good time to help others realize their dreams in a more tangible way. This energy is that of the volunteer, idealistic and committed to change. Deep breath. So that's our connection to spirit with Neptune and all that. But Mars, this means if we can be connected to our intuition and we're not all numbed out from food and pharmaceuticals, then we can make choices that are right timing for you, the individual. That's what this is really good for. Same day, full moon in Aquarius, which asks, what have you become too attached to, and or what have you become too detached from and need to reconnect? We have spent recent months navigating mutable energy of thoughts and ideas in Gemini, along with the cardinal energy of action and choices in Cancer, whose theme continues now, but the energy has become decidedly fixed, and it's time to release or anchor something in your heart. What ideas have you gotten going that need some tending to make stronger and more viable? This lunation may illuminate or activate revelations of when, where, and with whom, mostly self, that you have not been completely, if at all, authentic. Start with the motivations. If and when they are pure, when they are clean and neutral, then being authentic becomes way less challenging. Now more than ever, we must be congruent with our inner and outer natures in order to thrive, prosper, and evolve. When you are not authentic, things become much more challenging. If we are serving two masters or incongruent on one or many levels, meaning having the private side of your nature be too drastically different from that which you present to the world, then that creates more challenges, blockages, and delays until you get into more personal alignment. Deep breath. Aquarius full moon is shining a big bright light in this area. This full moon helps you see where you have become rigid, unyielding, and attached to your way or the old way, neither of which will work going forward. Status quo is not the way to go. Any Aquarius moon wants you to tap into your own unique genius and offer your contribution in a new and different way. If you are following trends or other people, you will be misled. It's time to evaluate your own social circles, both virtual and in reality. This is huge. This is a big theme because our values are shifting, so the people we want to be around is shifting too. So what kind of people do you call friend? Do you have more acquaintances than true friends? Is that the way you like it? We are in a time when we are upgrading our individual self-expression on deep levels And anything that feels inauthentic is getting released with this full moon. We grow and evolve, and the things and people that we're attracted to or repelled by changes over time as well. Let's not be stagnant, but use every full moon to do some personal clearing so that we can lighten up and shine more light. Use this full moon to release any inauthenticity, lack of self-love, or rigid attachment of any kind. It's also good to tap into your body's wisdom when things are decidedly mental around you. This is the lunation to align your head and heart. So if you felt disconnected lately, take a time out and reconnect. Deep breath. It's a great full moon for that. Same day, August 11th, big day. Venus moves into Leo until September 5th. Venus in Leo brings up issues where your personal self-love, self-esteem, and self-worth issues are all concerned. More than ever, we have to operate from heart center. You have to care in order to get engaged, and so you must clear away all that you do not care about so that what you do care about has more room to grow and evolve. One of my mantras is that my personal sanctuary is where everything I'm serious about I get to do for fun. And I'm very serious about my soul work and my community work. That's my hope for this Leo infusion of energy. We are bringing in light and renewal in our Leo departments. The Aquarius full moon is helping us clear anything blocking that. The next 3+ weeks should afford you time to renew your personal self-care routines, as well as your primary love or work relationships, and prepare to be yourself more fully and let the chips fall where they may. This Venus work is going to be very personal for those with Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, Scorpio, which is all engaged up in the sky right now for all of us. Things that were important to you 6 to 9 months ago are probably not so vital now, and things that were not even on your list of priorities may have moved to the top. In this case, Leo means your core essential nature and authentic self-expression has evolved over time, and adjustments to your personal presentation and current playmates should begin to reflect the upgrade. Oh yes, that is definitely happening too. As I change, everyone that comes near me changes, and it is a beautiful thing. I love my community. I am so grateful for those of you who engage directly and work this mojo consciously and track your progress along the way and circle back and let me know how you're doing. I really appreciate that. This is our community time. You know, winter, spring, summer, fall are solar holidays. So the gates of power are our midpoints, and they're very lunar, very personal. So we pull inward to work on ourselves at this point. And that's the Leo gate of power, where we are now, opposite the Aquarius gate of power. So everything we put in play right now, we're going to see the fruits of our labor come February, March, spring of 23, right? Also, Taurus, Scorpio, gates of power. This is when we anchor something permanently or release something permanently. First week of May, first week of November, first week of August, first week of February. This is when the gates of power happen. And right now we're at the midpoint between summer solstice and fall equinox. So some people call this the pre-harvest as well. So this week is definitely all about you. Get some downtime, get some time to do some reflecting, prepare yourself for the Mercury retrograde because it is coming. Virgo Libra is a powerful zone to have Mercury linger and rewire our thinking, which is what's happening. And I hope that you join us for the Gate of Power. And later in the month when I do the Mars retrograde in Gemini, that's going to be another community event on August 24th. So join us when you can. Reach out when you need to. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off. Have a fantastic week.